Good afternoon, tutor and classmate. This is my story. My dear grandmother and my aunties. My life was very beautiful as a child with many mischief, but the most important thing I remember was that I shared with my maternal grandmother. One I love very much. She was very important in my life and the protagonist of my story and many innocent spilatunas. Some I remember and others told by my parents. Hortensia was his name. I remember her as white and beautiful as a doll. My parents told me that when I was about 4 years old, my grandmother, who lived in Bogota, was visiting on a vacations. Oh, what emotions and happiness! I wanted to help my mother to see how she looked after my grandmother. I watched as my mother prepared a delicious snack with egg, bread, and soda. As I wanted to help my mother, I put salt in the soda. My parents tell me that my grandmother was very used, but she had forgiven me. Almost 2 years passed, and my grandmother, who had made herself very ill, decided to me to come and live with us. It was wonderful because I would have someone to play with, since it was the smallest house in the house and my sister were no longer there to play. Other thing was joy because my grandmother always accompanied me and even sleep with her. The only bad thing was that at my night I would her to hell her that I wanted to go my bed. It was like days and months went by. We ate sweets and chocolates. She also liked them a lot. One night I was playing hide and seek. I hid under the bed of my grandmother. She was going to bed and soon turned off the light. The grid of the feet. At that time, very fun for me, but no, my for but not for my poor grandmother, who shouted, and my laughter did not let me tell her that it was me. I did not think it was so bad or that I was doing something wrong. Quickly, my parents heard the scream and ran to see what had happened. They pulled me from under of the bed and roused my grandmother, and they scolded my hand where upset for several days, and rightly so. My grandmother had been very scared and furious with me. The next days she did not tell to me how she did not play with me. It was very sad, and I promised not to scare her, to never scare her again. The days passed, and my grandmother had already forgiven me. We used to go to a mountain to catch butterflies. while we ate chocolates in general. I had many sweets. Another day we escaped to Wayne. Suddenly, my grandmother began to forget. My grandmother began to forget things. I was not the son as I wish because I did not know that I was doing. It was very sad because my parents did not let me play with her. On night, my grandmother got lost and did not. We found her. She had been walking alone and had gone to a neighbor's house and was sitting in a patio. Since that day, it was not to the same again. With the pass of time, my grandmother got 6 more. Um, One weekend, my sister were visiting. My parents traveled and we were alone with my mother. She had been sick, and and that day they were hoping it to me. I was playing with my doll when my sister started crying. I asked to was visit and they did not answer. Mm, they took they they took my out on the house, so I will not notice that my grandmother had did. Uh, even 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 though I was only a girl, I understood that my life would not be the same from that day without the company of my grandmother. Eh, I would be alone again and wish no one to play with. This is how this story ends with my ace in, it ends with my tears in my ace, but also happy to remember each to the moment I spent with my grandmother. It makes me reflect that life is used one and we must take advantage of each on of our loved ones. Thank you very much.